Salam sejahtera, everyone. Salam bersih and salam ubah. There are a few things that I would like to get off my chest today. Something that I hope everyone can relate to. I really hope so. I'm sure everybody realizes that there's a dark, sinister thing going on in our country today. Something quite evil that has somehow seeped into our society. So for the next couple of minutes, allow me to vent a little bit about something I feel very strongly about. Colorblind, by definition, means someone who's unable to differentiate color. But in this context, ladies and gentlemen, the colorblind Malaysian simply means that a Malaysian is free from racial prejudice, free from bigotry. Now, we all know that, Malaysia, we often gush, actually. Malaysia, it's a multi-ethnic country. Malaysia is a multi-religious nation. Malaysia is a multicultural society. It's wonderful. This is something that I believe, and I know everybody else in this room believes this as well. But ladies and gentlemen, the dark, sinister thing that I mentioned about simply means that this is a facade. Now, in Malaysia, we have a population of approximately 30 million and counting. We've got Melayus, the Malays, approximately it's about more than half, 50% of the Malaysian population. And of course, the Chinese, roughly about 25%. The Indians, about 8%. And of course, we have a special box for the others, the lion. Now, our country, or rather our society, our system, enjoys labeling people, You have to be either Malay, Chinese, or Indian. And by the way, I'm also talking about the peninsula here. Now, if our society is unable to think or understand what you are, that's okay. We have a special box for you to check. Lion. And this is something that, unfortunately, you're going to have to be content with checking for the rest of your life. Also, in Malaysia, we have this thing called, the 3 Rs. Yes, I can see, the organizers starting to feel a little bit uneasy. I did promise them that I would not be talking about anything political, so don't worry, nothing seditious. Now, 3 Rs simply means race, religion, and royalty. In other words, in our country, these are the 3 topics that we're not supposed to talk about or even question. Because if we do, then we'll be met with 3 other Rs, such as racial tension, religious intolerance, and maybe a revolution. I don't know. Now, although it doesn't seem like we are at war, there's no civil wars, nothing like that, but know that the growing tension fueled by racial bigotry in this country and also religious intolerance may lead us to a destructive downward spiral. Now, this is something I feel very strongly about, and I know this is a problem that everybody thinks about. We think about it, we feel it, but how do we address it? Well, it's not really blaming media, but I personally feel that, media, well, you guys have a very important role, a huge responsibility. Society feeds on information. We love words, we love text, we love news, we love drama. And over the past few years, the media has been picking up on several incidences, some overly exaggerated, some not. Now, media has a huge responsibility, and I mean, you guys have all the means necessary to shape the minds of individuals, to shape the minds of society, of Malaysians. Now, this is something that I started out as a joke, actually. What would P. Ramlee do? It's no longer a joke. Well, the thing is, I say this because ask anyone about P. Ramlee, and everybody has the same smile and that glimmer of hope, that bright light, you know, in their eyes, and I love that. A few weeks ago, actually, I spoke to a lovely lady. She was from the mainland. Yeah, we just ended up talking about, you know, Pir Ramlee, and she said, yeah, everybody loves it. Why? Because his movies portray a very simpler life. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, everybody got along well. Malays were a lot freer. And you know, we just simply got along well. So what happened to our society? What happened? Now, we used to be more tolerant than we are today. I know you guys know that and believe that. Now, we used to visit each other's houses freely. This is something that, you know, I've spoken to a lot of people in terms of, you know, visiting houses during festive or religious holidays. Yeah, but now we can't do that anymore. We used to eat and drink together, but not anymore. Go to a public area, go to a restaurant, observe. You'll find out. Of course, some of us even played mahjong. I know my grandfather did, and he enjoyed it. God bless his soul. Now, we need to know that there is unity in diversity, and just understand that would be half the battle. Now, these days, we understand that, yes, violence and prosecution, you know, this is all encouraged, but not in a war, battle context. Very subtle. Just read the news. Turn on your Facebook, social media. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we have a few people within our society, some factions. They're very hell-bent, very adamant about making us understand that we are different, and we should be different, and we should remain different. They don't want us to get along with each other. They're very insecure that when we get along, when we identify ourselves as Malaysians, as human beings, something bad might happen to them. I'm not going to say anything. Just go home and think about it. It's simple as this. Those people, they want us to hate each other. I'm not going to let them. And I'm not going to let them influence you to hate each other. Now, it's very important for us to understand that tolerance is a very important aspect, especially for a multicultural society such as ours. We need to understand that, above all. Here we go. Here's a wonderful quote. Malaysians of all colors and creed are free to practice and profess their customs, cultures, and religious beliefs, and yet feeling that they belong to one nation. Ladies and gentlemen, who said this? Mahathir Mohamad said this. And this was part of his speech, Wawasan 2020, Vision 2020. He said this back in 1991. But is this true? We only have about five more years before 2020. I don't know about you, but I worry. I feel that that's not happening anytime soon. So is this Malaysia's reality? I don't think so. Now, no one can really dispute, of course, the importance of unity and positive relations with human beings. But what I want everyone to understand, you know what? It's as simple as this. We need to tell them what we want. I don't know about you, but I know that I'm sick and tired of having them tell me what I should do, who I can hang out with, and what I should think. That's not going to happen. Now, I believe that people who want peace, people who want to hang out with fellow Malaysians and just stripping away whatever culture, racial, ethnic, religious barrier that exists. I mean, we just want to get along. We just want to hang out. We form the majority here, not them. Know that we make the numbers, not them. So it's time for us to stand up against them and tell them what we want for a change. Now it's time for us, parents, society, to teach young people, to teach the future generation of Malaysia, to teach everybody else, every single person alive today. You know what? In diversity, remember this, there is strength, there is beauty, and it's awesome. And this is something that we really need to tell. Whatever it is, if some of those factions might want you to believe otherwise, don't listen to them. You have a choice, and they have a choice. Now I think it's simple as this. They need to start listening to us, and we will tell them what we want. Ladies and gentlemen, it's as simple as this. We want a colorblind Malaysia. Thank you very much.